And welcome back to a new edition of CaSaundra Jolliff Live. And if you guys notice, I'm here with a special someone on location in St. Louis, Missouri. We have none other than Cedric Watts, also known as Sir Sax.
Oh, wow.
Welcome to the show.
Your show. But I got a mask on. They can't
Yes,
see it.
he's
Yeah,
smiling, and we are doing our we're practicing our. Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
So here it is. He's masked it
I
up,
want to say something.
and you should.
Okay.
And I'm not as masked it up, but I will be masked it up. But he's masked it up, so we're all healthy, fine, and good. So on today's special show, this is a new edition. Every now and again, I do these special editions of Missouri, and I have one of my best buds in the business, my brother from another mother and father. He's a super talented musician, one of St. Louis's finest radio personalities, and he's an incredible conversationalist. So let me give you the official physical welcome on the CaSaundra Jolliff Live show.
Thank you.
In person, because usually we do this and we're screened up.
Yeah.
But today we made it happen in person.
We did.
Yeah.
We did.
Definitely a couple of years in the making. Definitely a couple of years in the making.
And I'm going to go and turn something on.
Yeah, he is. So while he does that, he's also an engineer. Bam! Oh, look at this.
Okay, let me do this.
Oh, Tweedledum, Tweedledum.
It went off on
it. Yeah. So anyway, guys, he's gonna work all that jazz out, and so we're gonna keep it going. Cedric, they can't see me.
Okay,
I'm in the dark.
Okay, can I fix it up?
He can fix that. So while he does that, you guys, today we're going to be talking about the title of the show. Is it too soon? This is a special edition with Sir Sax. And yes, the question is it too soon? And you're probably thinking, well, what is too soon? What? I'm glad you asked. What is too soon? I'm going to let my handy dandy co-host with the mostest answer that question for you all. There we go.
Are we there now?
We are there.
Okay.
All right. So
I apologize.
Yeah, it happens. There's always something happening on my show. And it's usually me, and it just happens to be the light. But he's the engineer, and he makes all this stuff great happen. Future president. All that good stuff. So go ahead, Cedric. What the title there is it too soon? Too soon for what?
Right. You and I were talking, and we have some very good conversations when we talk. Mm-hmm. And recently our president, him and the vice president came onto the Rose Garden not too long ago and announced that they are lifting the bans on
Yes.
So I guess you and I were discussing, and me with other people were discussing, do we think that's too soon? And then we wanted to incorporate, not only do we think it's too soon for the nation, do we think it's too soon for the church?
Yes, and we're going to pretty much hone into the piece about the church part. Right. So my take is on it, and I just love to get his thoughts because he's a master communicator.
I'd be getting in trouble.
Yeah, that's okay. That's what makes the world go round. Trouble.
Okay.
So is it too soon for the church? Well, most of you guys know I'm not a pastor. I am a minister, but I'm not a pastor. I don't have a church or anything of that nature. So just on the outside, kind of looking in, I think it's too soon. I think it's a little too soon.
Okay.
I mean, 30% of the, you said 30% has been vaccinated.
That was the CDC's, I believe, their statistics a couple of days ago. It could have changed drastically, but I know they were going off of that 30% of us have been vaccinated. My thing with that is, even though they said we were vaccinated, their recommendations is it's okay to walk around maskless and you don't have vaccinated. Do we know who haven't been vaccinated?
No, we don't.
Even in the church, do you? Because, there were a lot of, in my arena, in my circle, there were a lot of church people saying that they wasn't going to get vaccinated. And I'm not saying they're wrong. Everybody have a right to not get vaccinated. But how are we to know, unless everybody walk around with a card, who got vaccinated and who didn't?
That's true. You have to trust Jesus.
But there's still okay. So let's take the vaccination out the equation, right?
Take it out the equation.
So let's just say the ones who didn't get vaccinated, and because you have COVID and not know it, you don't have to have all the symptoms. So what type of danger does that put us in the church? Let's say, since Biden stood up and did that, everybody's going back to church, right? I'm not saying you are in your congregation or your parish who has not been vaccinated. Is that still putting your parish or your congregation at risk?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, if you think of it logically, yes, you can say that. So you can say so. Yeah.
So if it's putting us at risk, wow. So should we heed to his calling and go back and open up the church doors and go, or should we still proceed with caution? What do you think?
You should definitely proceed with caution. I think that it should just be rolled out a little slowly versus, maybe once again, if we're talking about 30% of the nation being vaccinated, then maybe 30% of people, the capacity, whatever that is, should be the maximum for right now. And then as the numbers increase of vaccinations, then of course the churches can then expand a little bit more also, maybe in the same kind of ratio, perhaps. It is, I don't know if there's some churches that are I'm curious. Like, is anybody going somewhere that your church is full capacity? Especially if you have a medium to large size ministry. I mean, if you have a smaller size ministry, well, it's already small. And I know that varies, right?
I do know that there were some churches. There are a lot of churches that were on social media. But I do know that there were some churches who didn't shut down. There was
at full capacity.
Well, I can't say it was full capacity, but I know there was churches who never did shut down.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I guess the question is, and the reason why we're raising it, okay, let's just say you do go back.
Because there's two kind of sides. I mean, you see Cedric with his mask on, you see me without my mask. So this is like an example of what it looks like in the real world that we're having, right? You got people who aren't masked up, and then you got people who are masked up like him.
Right.
So, you have, what do you call it?
So who's, as the Bible would say, whose report are you going to believe?
Whose report are you going to believe?
Are we going to say, since the president said, we don't have to wear masks no more. Okay, we all going back to church. Everybody open it. So my question to you in your churches, why is it important? In the middle of it's still to me, if everybody didn't get vaccinated, there's still something floating around in there. So if that's the case,
this is like an illustration between the two of us.
Right.
Here showing you this is what it really looks like in the church on a regular basis, at least going back into a regular basis until the nation is more vaccinated. So how do you deal with that?
How do you?
Going forward? I mean, like, really, like what's, I think that we should definitely be wise and play it safe and mask up. Like in a moment, I'll be masking up during this conversation.
I'm cool. Sister CaSaundra.
He says, Sister CaSaundra.
I guess what I want to say is, I went to an event.
Okay.
Okay, it was an outdoor event. And I felt out of place. And this was before President Biden came on it. Nobody in that event was masked. I was only one mask. So I kind of felt out of place. Even though I felt out of place, I knew I wasn't taking my mask off.
Exactly.
Because you don't know who got vaccinated, who still got it, who didn't get it, So look at this, right? I might feel uncomfortable. This person might feel uncomfortable. I'm asked a question. This is me. On my show, Let's Talk, I ask those questions.
You do.
So why so soon? Why would you as a pastor, minister, evangelist, missionary, deacon, why would you open the doors of the church right now? What would be the rush?
Wait.
I'm with you on that, but there are certain people who don't feel like it should wait. So I guess it's the question.
I guess it's too soon.
We're saying that. But there's some people who don't think it's too soon.
And then that's the thing, is that you get the consequences of that. So what is it, and I don't like I said, I'm not a pastor. I don't own a church.
Right.
Neither does he.
Right.
So that could put ministries in one sense in liability.
Yes.
And that's the other piece. Yes, they got insurance, but if you get somebody who can trace or track where they were able to catch COVID from your ministry, they might press the button, meaning they might take on an issue and file a complaint and get a lawyer, and God knows if they go on social media or on the media, traditional forms of media, right?
In my opinion, Biden is in the clear. I'm going to tell you why he's in the clear.
How is that?
I'm going to tell you why he's in the clear, because he said it. If you are vaccinated, you don't have to wear your mask. So, but peep this. Let's
because there's people who didn't take it, and we're talking about the vaccinations, have gotten the vaccinations and did the 1, 2, 3 thing, or 1, 2 thing, and have gotten COVID again after taking the vaccinations. So you got to kind of use wisdom. Like we're using these example right here. But that's what we're letting you know, that it doesn't make sense.
But Biden's in the clear, because you just said, I'm gonna say he put that clause on her. You said, what if somebody pushed the Biden? They can say Biden said, no, you can't. Biden said if you were vaccinated. Okay. He didn't say everybody take off their mask. They're in the clear as far as a legal standpoint, the CDC.
Okay.
It's up to you to do what you need to do. If you're going to open up the church doors, which some of you are already doing, my suggestion, they need to show their cards. That's just me.
And then not only show your cards, but show your. Some people got a good printer. Some people got a good printer.
No, she didn't go like.
Some people got a good printer, or they got a good hookup there at their Kinko's and the graphic artist.
Yeah.
And so you need.
So that's where integrity. That's
counts.
where integrity comes in. Integrity is doing the right thing, even when the lights are not on you. That's doing the right thing. No one's looking. That's where everybody might want to. They got their own opinions. The Bible says, don't fail to not to assemble yourself in the upright, right? Or in the, you know where I'm coming from.
Together.
Just a lot of us want to push that button. Okay, we can assemble in someone's home. You can assemble in your living room. You can assemble at the park. Nobody said you had to go to the building if it's not safe for your parishioners.
Exactly.
That's all I'm saying. If it's not safe, and that's where we're coming from, why are we going to put people at risk? I just seen last week.
Do tell.
2 posts of 2 church-going people who have passed with COVID just last week. So here's my question. If that's happening and people are dying with COVID still, even now, this was after Biden did what he said.
Mm-hmm.
Why does not apply to you?
Does not apply.
So why are you in a rush to go back? Why do you think they're in a rush to go back? What's your take on that?
I think people. One, I think people got a little spiritual cabin fever, right? They want to get.
Okay.
They want to be among the saints, right? They want some fellowship in the household of faith, right?
Okay.
And then I think the other thing is that they're just like, hey, I'm believing God.
Wow.
You know what I mean? I'm believing God.
Wow.
Look. He's a healer.
I heard what you're saying.
He know how to purify your system.
I know what you're saying.
So that could be it. Or let's also let's talk real talk here. The building needs.
There you go. Yes, that's what I'm waiting for.
The building fund. the tithe offering. The tithe offering. Because they if it's not paid in full, it's not free and clear, then there's a mortgage that's due every month. Okay. There's utilities. There's special things that are going on. So they need people to. They think they need people.
Right.
And then let's be honest, y'all. Everybody's not giving like they used to.
Well, I'll put it to you like this. No, they're not. But check this out. I'm gonna say, peep this. Again.
Yeah, and not everybody's doing that, but we do know that there are people who are not giving like they used to,
right.
and for legit reasons. Not all of them are just.
Right.
Not all of them is just I don't want to give. And then there are some.
Feel like this. This is me. I'm gonna go off the rail a bit.
Go off the rail.
I think that there's a possibility there's people who can give more now because there's not a lot of activities going on in the church like there were. It's just me. I mean, you got more money in your pocket because you don't have all these dinners.
True that.
You don't have all these
conferences,
anniversaries. You don't have all the. So you still got a little extra. You got. So I think what's happening. Watch this. I think what's happening is. What's being taken place is the tithes and the way the Bible said, tithe and offering. That's what's getting there. So my thing is all the extra stuff is not happening. So yes, I think the ability to give is greater. Then you're not standing in a long line getting embarrassed. You could do it hold up. I'm just being honest with you. You're not standing in a long line getting embarrassed, getting your name called. You could do it on Cash App. You could do it on Venmo.
Who's calling out the names?
Not on Cash App.
People out on their name. Don't people like that.
Well, it happens.
Pastors, please don't do that.
You know that.
I mean, I've seen it happen. Okay. It's like old school. I don't know who's doing that.
It's still school. It ain't old. It's
still school.
It's still happening.
And I mean,
we're just being honest with you.
I also think that depends on the ministries that you're part of, the churches you're part of.
Okay.
Personally, the churches that I've been a part of don't do that.
They ain't calling your name.
No, they don't do that.
Give it $100.
Oh my gosh! Please,
Tommy the Turtle. I mean, I'm just saying.
Would they do that?
I mean, it's embarrassing.
Yeah, because it looks like a Holy Ghost filled Price is Right.
Check it out. Stand up if you got $100.
Or let's make a deal.
Stand up if you got $50.
It's like a game show.
Stand up if you got 20. You know you got 25. I mean,
25, 30, 35, 45. No, don't do that. Please don't do that.
That's what I'm going to say. So you eliminated all that.
Mm-hmm.
So since that's not there, people are more, or they will go on a computer in the privacy of their own home and give a cash app. Check this out. If you trust God and God called you to be that pastor that you are, and your ministry was called by God, and you're obeying God, watch this. He's going to make sure that your needs are met. Look at that.
He's able.
You heard what I'm saying? If you're in, and if you're doing what he, if your church is supposed to be there, and you're obeying the laws of the land, you're obeying him. what he said. Let's say this. Let me say this.
Say it.
Do you remember the story of when a death angel passed through the city? Do you believe that story?
Yes.
Do you believe that story happened?
Yes.
He told them to stay in the house, right?
Yep, he sure did.
Okay. So what if, watch this, during the death angel, some of them said, well, I got to go over there so I can make sure, and walked out during the, let's be realistic, right? What if they opened that door and went out there while all this was going on? Just to make sure that the tithes were paid and the building fund, they had a whole, do you think they would have survived?
No, not if they're following. I mean, that was a strict divine order. That was like mission.
Then what's different? So hold on. Okay, I'm glad you said that. So what's different about that and this? Tell me what's different about it.
That is modern day, God, he's grace, he'll give you mercy.
Hold on.
You're fasting and praying, you believe in the blood of Jesus, you straight gone out there.
There is no difference. It's still, that thing is killing people. COVID is actually killing people like the devil was killing. It's killing people. The only way, I'm not saying those who died were wrong or was disobedient. That's not what I'm saying.
Please reiterate that again. For those who understand this point, so just for more clarity, so nobody is
offended, right?
Not just offended, but reaching me on the direct messenger, inboxing me.
If you have loved ones who passed, we're not saying that they were wrong, but what we are saying is right. This is the same. They have to literally trust God. You have to literally trust God. If you are to stay in the house, and to me, staying in the house doesn't mean, it does mean staying in the physical house, but it means staying under the covering. Staying under the divine, his blood represents the covering. His blood represents divine, and not only the blood represents the covering, staying under the blood represents staying under and in obedience, being obedient.
Yes.
So either you're going to listen to Biden and open up. It's up to you. We're just asking a question. In your opinion, we're not talking about, forget the bills. We're talking about the faith that you tell your parishioners to have, the faith that you tell your members to have. Are you allowing them to use that faith, or are we rushing back to the churches, or is it too soon?
Personally, I think it's too soon. That's just me. Now, I will say this. At the end of the day, you got to have a relationship with the Lord. Or so much, bedroom and part of your living room, wherever you like to worship and spend time with the Lord. The most important thing is that you do fellowship with the Lord, that you spend time with Him, you spend time in the Word. And if you have a family, oh my gosh, there's the congregation right there. I mean, there's the flock right there that you guys worship the Lord together privately. And you don't have to wait till Sunday or Wednesday or whatever night, special night you have your regular service to do that. You can do that at any point. I mean, we're really talking about the true Sabbath. The true Sabbath is a Saturday.
Amen. Amen. Right, you don't.
And here's the thing: the Lord is not going to be offended if you don't make it to the house.
As often as you do.
Yes, you do.
Do this in remembrance of me.
And just spend time. The thing about it is to spend quality time with Him. And yes, if you want to be around more people, then you got the virtual experience.
There you go.
The Holy Spirit can heal you.
Yes.
He can empower you.
Yes.
He can make you free. He can do whatever He needs to do.
Like that. Yeah.
And you can receive Christ or rededicate your life back to Christ wherever you are. He can do that through the lens. So you don't even we don't even have to have this on to have that experience. We're just trying to demonstrate to you that if you don't make it into the four walls, then you shouldn't feel guilty. You should not be not engaged. Just because you're not there don't mean that's not vacation from the Lord. Right.
Trivia question.
Detail.
Trivia question. I got a question for you. I'm seeing.
Are you asking me this?
Yeah, I'm asking you this question. They're gonna answer it. Trivia question.
Okay, here we go.
Jesus fed the 5,000 plus.
Yes.
Okay. Do y'all remember that story?
So yeah,
Somebody tell me what building was he in when he did that?
who's not in the building?
I just want to know. What was the name of the building that he was in when he was teaching and preaching out there?
He was not in the building.
He wasn't in a building?
He word. He was not in the building, and it's in the word. That he was, not in the word.
But we run into a building, so I'm just asking a question. So what building when he fed the 5,000, and when John was baptizing, what baptismal pool was he using?
He was in an outdoor area.
Are you sure?
According to the word, it was outside.
So it wasn't in the $1 million edifice.
No, he was not.
Sure?
He was not in a physical structure.
It wasn't any Urshan people in.
No, and didn't have special seats with their names on it.
There you go. I'm just asking a question. It wasn't no choir. It might have been a choir there. But what I'm saying is, this is what we're. And it's a little comical. Sometimes you gotta know what the book that you want your kids to read. The book that we read every day has those stories in them, right?
Right.
And we make this, God is the same God today as he was yesterday, right? We say that, right? So if he's the same God, I'm just saying, I've never gotta use that thing. Yeah. If he's the same God that he was today, what changed?
Nothing's changed.
We've changed. And another thing, idolatry is putting emphasis on a object more than you would God.
That's good stuff.
Right?
That's good stuff.
Right? I'm just bringing.
Good stuff,
that's
Elder.
Why, I'm just saying. Moses, he got mad because they were worshiping calves. Idolatry. When you think idolatry can be your jewelry, your wife, your husband. If you put emphasis more on them, your building there. If those things come before God, then you're committing something that is prohibited, right? So if you're putting this building before the health and the welfare of your saints, then I think you need to right. We need to reevaluate why we're rushing back. And if God leading you to go back, he's gonna protect. We just got
you to go back. I mean, specifically saying, I want you to be this place, this time, there. Then you obey him. He's got you covered. However, for the most part, that doesn't mean everyone needs to go back.
Make sure she's at the key thing. If he's telling you, not George Washington, Benjamin Franklin, the $100 bill, the $2 bill. There ain't no $2 bills no more. No. If he's not the money. If he's telling you to go, not telling you to go back, then go. But sometimes we need to research that. Is God really telling us to do certain things that we're doing, or are we in the flesh? Mm-hmm. Is it too soon? And that's the question. Ask yourself the question. I mean, I appreciate this.
What's your take on it? Is it too soon?
I think that if we got 100%, if there's 100% and only 30% is potential people out there with COVID, and the whole purpose of wearing this and washing our hands is that everything be cleared up before we go back. If that's the perimeters we're on, then yes, I think we might be too soon. If we're still at 70% people without being vaccinated, I think you want to get to 100%. You want full vaccinate. We want every 30% of the people are well and 70% of the people are not well.
Well, here's the thing: we don't know.
Potentially.
I mean, we really don't know if 70% is not well. Because there's some people don't have COVID. Clearly.
How you know that? How would they know that? How will we know that? How you can make up a card You know, how would you know?
Please don't make a poor card, y'all. I don't want y'all to go to jail for a fax machine.
Kinko's.
Kinko's. I said a fax machine. That don't make sense.
Wait a minute.
I don't know where they came
How
from.
far back are you
That's
going?
90s. I don't even know what I was thinking about.
You guys updated equipment.
80s and 90s. I know. I'm tripping. But the point is that don't do anything that's not integrous. Be truthful. You know, be on the up and up. If you haven't been vaccinated, use wisdom. Wear your mask. You know, like earlier we showed a demonstration of just controversy. I had this mask on. I did have my mask, but that's how it is.
Yeah.
I mean, you go into places. You know, I was in a restaurant recently, and
oh Lord,
the people weren't masked, and some people were masked. It was like, you know, mixed kind of setting with mask, unmasked, and once again, and then on top of it, catch this, Skinny. Then on top of this, peep this. This was the first time I've been in a restaurant since COVID started. I'm going into a restaurant where usually they'll have an open seating when there's nobody sitting next to you.
Right.
You know what I mean? They got people that this was, everybody was seated next,
shoulder to shoulder.
Every table was like, you know what I mean? And I noticed it, and I'm like, and I'm tripping because, you know, here I'm in Illinois. I expect that's the kind of stuff to be out there in Texas with they wild stuff, you know. And I know California's not going to do the deal because they so health conscientious. Really?
Oh my God!
This is over in
come to St. Charles.
Yeah, on the east side.
It was,
and it was like. I was so surprised. I looked around and I was like, and I didn't notice it at first. I'll be honest, you know, I was celebrating. I didn't notice it at first, and then I looked over. I was like, awfully close.
Let me ask you a question. Did you have your mask on?
Yeah. Except for when I had to eat.
Right. I mean, we know that.
Yeah. You know, when I was eating, of course.
So,
but for the most part. Yeah.
So feel that. Did you feel like somebody was going to say something to you because you was wearing a mask and they wasn't?
No, I didn't think about that. You know, of course you don't want anybody approaching you crazy, you know, because then you got to remove your earrings and stuff, take some stuff off. But no, I didn't get that. I didn't get that feeling. I just was like, wow, this is the first time I've been in a restaurant where everybody was seated. And, you know, I hadn't seen that since pre-COVID. Yeah. And to see that and knowing we're at vaccinations of the nation, and then, you know what I mean? I just thought that was like kind of irresponsible. But at first, I have to admit it, I didn't notice it at first because I think I was so excited about us getting together and the celebration that we're there for.
Did you hear about one in reference to what you're talking about? One of our TV talk show hosts that have a regular show. Mm-hmm. Do you remember when before Biden said this? Do you remember what he said? He said, if you outside and you see someone's child with a mask on.
No, I did. That's the first time.
There are some people out there that know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to mention his. Right. It made major news.
I was about to say, was it just here at the St. Louis market?
No. This was national. This is one of your national TV, TV news shows that normally come on, and he made the comment. Because he was tired of this. He's tired. This is before Biden did what he did. Mm-hmm. He said, if you see a parent mask, that's child abuse, call 911.
What?
Yes.
Get the heck out of here.
Right, so that's why I asked you. I promise you.
It's child abuse?
It was child. Anybody out there listen, they know what I'm talking about. This was just last month. It made. I mean, I listen to a lot of talk shows, and this was.
He's very diverse. I like the fact that you listen to various types of talk shows.
Yeah.
You know, you don't make them typical.
Right.
You just, you know, you check out different types.
So this is going to make it out people calling the police because your kids are going to have masks on and theirs not, and they're going to be so. I'm saying it to say this. That's why I asked you, how did you feel that when you was at the restaurant,
I didn't like it.
I told you, I felt kind of out of place, but I felt like I wasn't taking my mask off. I'm sorry.
I didn't like it. You know, we took it off, you know, to eat and things of that nature. But I don't like top of that, I think from that experience, it's making me even more conscientious about next time when I'm going to a restaurant. If it's not on point when I walk in, may the Lord watch between me and thee.
Well,
absent.
Here's where I'm at.
One from another. I don't want to be in that kind of environment where it's that many people around me and I'm trying to have dinner.
Here's where I'm at, Dan. I'm
you know
with
what
you.
I mean?
I'm to sum it all up. I'm right now. I'm not going to. I don't really want to. I'm not going to say what you never do. Mm-hmm. But right now, until I'm going to keep my mask on.
Yeah,
that's just me. That's just me. I'm saying I'm not telling you to get vaccinated, but it'll help. It'll help if you did. Now, if you don't want to,
if you choose,
if you don't choose not to, then
and that's people's prerogative, and there's consequences.
There's consequences because I really believe this is what I believe. I believe this is me. I think they're gonna start carding.
Oh yeah,
I believe that. I believe certain. I can't look at you when you had your mask on. Mm-hmm. And this is your pride. I'm not going to ask you this. This is between you and your guy. Mm-hmm. I couldn't tell whether you got vaccinated or not when your mask was off. Mm-hmm. I can't tell. You can't tell if I'm. Yeah. I'm wearing a mask. You might think even though I'm wearing my mask, I could have got. I could be vaccinated. We don't know.
We were wearing masks before the vaccinations came out.
Right.
Now the vaccinations that came out. Got people who are done what?
But initially they told you to keep your mask on even when you got vaccinated because there are certain people who didn't get vaccinated. Now they saying you can take it off.
Well, that's the thing. It's contradictory, and not only that, it's redundantly. And the other piece to that is that recently I had heard in the news that there were people, not a person, but people who had gotten vaccinated, and whether that's the 1 dose or the 2 dose, and they still afterwards. Right. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen to everybody.
Oh God. Okay.
We're in the dark.
They are.
But that's the truth, though. Like, what is? You just don't know, and so you just have to use wisdom. Whether you get the vaccination or not, whatever your rhyme or reason as to you do it or you not do it. I think this is cool.
Okay, you okay?
Yeah, no, try that again. No, put that up there.
Okay.
Yeah.
You okay with that?
We just do what we gotta do. Hey.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
This is live TV, y'all.
It is. When you see that, you're like, hey. Okay. But yeah, it is. So the thing is that just use wisdom. Think about other people around you. Think about the person that you don't have a relationship with, that you don't know. Yeah. A perfectly stranger, a loved one, and just use wisdom. And the best thing to do, honestly, whether you get the vaccination or not, wear your mask. Yes. And if you don't choose to wear it in the privacy of your own home, I get it. Mask. And it's going to be consider others, because that's what it's really about, us taking care of one another in that regard, just as human beings. But the other piece to that is, this is going to be for the remainder of the year. So just go ahead, hopefully in 2022, it'll be different. Right. Hopefully it'll be better where we don't have to do all of this. But I do think we're going to be wearing these masks all the way to December 31st, 2021. Yes. And it may be even January 1st of 2022.
That's going to be some of you with a problem. So it's going to be a mask spread. It's going to look like a mask still on your face. But I appreciate you having me.
Hey, it was great. We always have great conversation. We definitely have two different point of views about some things, but it's great when we are on the same page.
We were on the same page on this.
We were, because sometimes we're not on the same page. We just.
But she have to soften it up for you sometime, because
he's brass monkey over here. He put the brass, and that's cool. Because you need that mindset in terms of getting people to really kind of see a different a good, a rightful point of view,
Right.
and I can appreciate your perspective with what you shared. And so, guys, I just want to say thank you guys for watching. Make sure that you like. What is your take? Let us know in the comments.
Right.
We want to know what you have to say. Anything you want to share with that behind it with the comment?
I mean, if we won't know unless you comment. I mean, there's no right or wrong answer. That's true. It's just in our opinion only. This our opinion only. This really no right or wrong, no answer.
Is it too soon?
That's the question. Do you might not, they might not think it, some of them might not think it's too soon. So
I think we're gonna get a good mix between the two of thinking it is and then thinking it isn't.
All I'm gonna say is be safe. That's all I'm gonna say. No matter if you think it's not, I mean, consider someone's grandmother, consider someone's mother, consider someone's father, your church. Consider you got older people. Their immune system is not as strong as yours. So consider that when you do open that door, you got somebody's mother in there. You got somebody's auntie in there. You got somebody's uncle, brother. You might have someone, your father. So consider that just for me. Consider that. Just consider it.
I concur. Okay. I concur. Well, listen, guys, thank you for watching this edition, special edition, with Sir Sax, Cedric Watts in the loop.
And CaSaundra.
Woohoo! I so appreciate you guys. We're going to have some great talk. He'll be back again. We're going to do another show at some point in the future. And as always, I always learn and glean from him and vice versa. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like and share. Comment below. Let us know if you're watching for the first time or you're catching the replay. Let me know what the dealio be. All right. Other than that, as always, have significant success on purpose. Your purpose. Thank you for watching the show.